covering your head. Maybe like this? Kind of have the light going okay. Okay, first off, thank you for 1,000 subscribers. We hit one of the big milestones, which I didn't think I would actually finish by the time I finished graduating next year, but we got it. Yay us. That gets me a little bit ambitious, to be honest. I know it's kind of pulling me away from the academic mindset, which I need to stay consistent in that. If you're new here, one of my issues has been that I kind of navigate back and forth thinking about entrepreneurship and academia. I kind of live in both worlds, but since I'm working on the PhD right now, that really needs to be my priority. So every now and then I get a little ambitious when things go really well in one area over another. Keita's gone, so I moved over here. So I'm going to come back to the YouTube ideas in a second. But I wanted to kind of give some updates about my academic stuff, and I guess that's related also to my professional stuff. So academically speaking, one of the updates is that I'm no longer a PhD student. So I passed my comprehensive exams, and now I'm a PhD candidate, which basically means I'm going to be working on my dissertation. I have about 60 pages of a rough draft done for that, and I'm aiming for around 150, although there will be a period where my writing slows down because I'll be doing the actual experiments. Well, I'll be doing analysis for semi-structured interviews, but I'm not going to get into that right now. The other piece with the professional life, I'm still working on my licensure, so I have about 250 or so hours left before I finish the hours required for my license in professional counseling. However, I believe you also need to take another exam when you finish the LPC hours, and then once that's done, I'll be good. I'll be able to start a private practice as I've been intending to do all along. Now, all of that academic and professional stuff should be done by the end of May next year. And I've set my lease. I'm doing an academic term lease to end next May 26. So this really needs to be wrapped up before that time. However, there is a difficulty with that, or an issue with that. It adds like a level of urgency. It adds a level of urgency because around this time, best practice would be that I'm looking for a professional job so that I can transition from here to where I'm going to end up moving and be able to have some income coming in. At the moment, I haven't put any feelers out. I haven't been looking for jobs. Now, personally, I'm more of a pragmatic, practical kind of person. So I will be looking for something. The question is whether it would be a full-time or a part-time position. Ideally, and I always kind of shoot for ideally, I would like to work something part-time where I could still work on a business, right? I've been kind of dilly-dallying a little bit here and there, but like I said, my priorities with academia in the last few years, so I haven't really done anything too significant. But what I'm interested in doing is, one, relying on some income from YouTube. We got the 1,000 subscribers, which is like the minimum requirement to be able to, minimum subscriber requirement to be able to get paid for ad revenue. However, I've hit nowhere near the watch time. So one of the goals I need to have over the next year is increase the watch time, which would mean increasing the quality of my videos. So if you have any ideas for how to do that, please let me know. Or if you have any suggestions for video types or videos that you've preferred, because I know I'm kind of bouncing all over the place with content, let me know. So part of that would be kind of dishing out content on a consistent basis, and also probably more importantly is learning how to make quality videos. The other piece of that, so I'm not going to be relying on YouTube anytime soon. I know that'll take its own time. More realistically, I could be working on private practice, and I can't do that until I finish my LPC. I could be working on the planning part, the business planning part, but right now I'm working on the dissertation. So that makes it a little bit difficult because I need to prioritize the dissertation, though I also want to be building a business plan so I can build a private practice, which, to be honest, even though I enjoy doing in-person sessions, by probably summer next year, 26, I'll probably start out doing virtual sessions because I still don't really know where I'm going to move to. And by the time I figure out where I'm going to move to, I need to have a license in that state, which takes time to transition your license to another state, which I have never done that before because I haven't gotten my license yet. So there'll be that to figure out as well. But again, the ideal piece would be like I have a part-time job, bringing in some consistent income, and then also have some money coming in, maybe it pays a utility bill, phone bill kind of thing from YouTube. That would be awesome. And then also having my private practice, which is probably another mainstream of income, right? And kind of be able to build that and turn it into like a group practice later on. At least that's my thinking. That's kind of what I'm excited about, because then I'd be able to do what the dream has been, is be able to travel, eat great food. And also, of course, the big chess component for all this is that I get to travel, eat good food, and meet new people and play them in chess. I may do some competitive play, although that's not my main interest. I really just enjoy, the main thing I enjoy about chess is getting to connect with other people. That's kind of how all this started, right? When I was very young, I was starting to play chess. I didn't really know how to talk to people, but playing chess, you don't have to communicate with people, but playing chess is a way of communication. And you start asking each other questions, you start talking out the game, you try to analyze the game together, and then it just becomes a little more natural. You get to get more exposure to the person, you get to get more comfortable with the person. So I've learned this over the years, and now I've also learned other ways of communicating where I don't have to wait to play hours of games before I start getting to know a person. Like, I know their name and some things about them by the end of the first game, kind of thing. And I enjoy that. So I enjoy good food, I enjoy meeting people, I enjoy traveling, and that's what I want to be able to do. And I'm trying to figure out how to facilitate to make that work. And I understand, looking ahead, life never goes exactly as you plan. So I'm keeping it flexible, but also trying to make it as probable, as feasible as possible to live in such a way where I can be able to travel, bring in some decent income, and live a good quality life. So that's the idea. Again, thank you for 1,000 subscribers. I think it's awesome that we've reached this milestone. I'm going to do what I can to keep putting out content. I know history has shown that I'm consistent some days more than others, or some weeks more than others. It kind of depends on where I am with the dissertation, to be honest, at this point. But I'll do my best. And I would love to hear from you to kind of see what you think, what your ideas are. Okay, I'm done talking. Bye.